Okay, so now welcome back. Now we're going to just take a moment here and we're going to discuss the signs of trigonometric functions. So as you probably are aware, some of these trigonometric functions are going to be positive and negative now. Now notice that when we were dealing with acute angles, everything was positive. Okay? But in the last problem we had some that came out negative because we were in the second quadrant. So now we're going to investigate and go into, so which trigonometric functions are positive and negative in which quadrants, okay? And so now that we know the general definition for each of the 6 trigonometric functions, we can say that they're going to be related to the values of those of x, y, and r. Now, since r is always positive, then we don't have to worry about that one. So it's actually going to be x and y that are going to determine the sign of the trig function. So here, just to fill this in, you know, x and y are both positive, right? Here. Here, x is negative and y is positive. And over here, they're both negative. Right, so x and y are negative. And here, x is positive and y is negative. Okay, so in the first quadrant, they're both positive. In the second quadrant, x is negative, y is positive. In the third quadrant, both x and y are negative. In the fourth quadrant, x is positive, y is negative. Okay, so how does that affect the signs of the trigonometric functions? Here, all are positive. Okay, over here, it's determined by x because x is negative. So anything that involves x is going to be negative in the second quadrant. Well, which ones have x? Well, cosine, right? Cosine and tangent, but that would mean secant and cotangent are all negative. Okay, sine and cosecant are positive because y is positive. Okay, so now what about quadrant 4? Well, in quadrant 4, they're both negative, right? So what does it affect? In that case, well, here, let me write this out. These are going to be negative. Okay, sine theta and cosecant theta, these are positive. Okay. Now in the third quadrant where x and y are both negative, well, how does that affect things? Well, let's go through. Okay, so the ones that have both x and y are going to be positive, right? So that means cotangent and tangent are both going to be positive. The rest of them are going to be negative. So that means sine theta, cosecant theta, cosine theta, secant theta are all negative. And then, what about here? X is positive, y is negative. Well, in that case, what's going to happen here is it's going to be determined by y. Y is going to determine the negative. Okay, so anything that has y in it is going to be negative. So what's that? Well, that's going to be sine theta, and of course it's reciprocal, cosecant theta, and then tangent theta and cotangent theta are going to be negative. And that means cosine theta and secant theta are positive. Now here's the thing. As long as you remember sine, cosine, and tangent, then the others you're going to give it to you. For example, everything is positive in the first quadrant. Okay? Here we're dealing with negative x, so that means cosine and tangent are negative. But also remember that the reciprocals are also negative. And then here, x and y are both negative, so the only ones that are going to be positive are tangent and cotangent. Okay? But if you think tangent is positive, sine and cosine are negative. Okay? And then over here, cosine's positive, sine and tangent are negative. Okay? Have a great day.